You're listening to the Trading Bear podcast. This is episode 62, The Daily Show.
Mystery player. Position.
Midfielder.
Start price.
£1.17.
Current price.
£1.59.
PB.
17p.
MB.
0.
Dividend yield.
10.7%.
Welcome back, thanks for joining in. In today's news, Manchester United continue to be linked with every player under the sun, David Brooks being the latest to be linked, causing a 16p price hike, but it's at right back where they want to get sorted before shopping elsewhere. That's at least according to Bruno Fernandes' agents today. And it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka then who is the heavy favourite for that right back role, but the 50 million target had a shocker for the under-21s against France the previous night, which has led to speculation that young Norwich right back Max Aarons could be a backup target. Now for what it's worth, having watched Aarons all season, he's a terrific player that has it all, will certainly go on to play for one of the big clubs, but it won't be this summer that move, he'll stay at Norwich for one more year I feel. Elsewhere, L'Equipe in France reported today that Paris Saint-Germain was set to splash out €30 million to secure the signature of Italy under-21 international midfielder Sandro Tonelli. This despite newly promoted club Brescia's owner declaring that he's not for sale just a few weeks ago. And lastly, Juventus' holding midfielder Mirjam Pjanic shot up 26p today following these quotes from new boss Sarri. "I'd like Pjanic to touch the ball 150 times a game. But first I've got to train the rest of the squad to get used to giving it him 150 times too." So could the once great for PB player be returning to the top of the PB mountains once more then? Time will tell. Those quotes then on Pjanic saw him steam ahead to £1.18 and saw him top the pile of risers in the squad section today. But leading the way in the top 200 section, along with those Brooks to United rumours, was a young Norwegian friend Martin Odegaard. Regular listeners to the show will know that I really like Odegaard as a pick for next season and picked him out as a prospect player a few episodes ago. Now by no means was this pick of Odegaard some hidden gem that no one had heard of, in fact quite the opposite. But the reason given at the time was that his price had dropped recently, even though there was an outside chance he might be joining PB friendly and Champions League qualifying Bundesliga team Bayer Leverkusen. Well today those rumours grew that tad bit stronger, as Odegaard and his team were seen arriving at the Germans' team training ground for discussions over a move. This then caused his price to spike to 15p, to move his current price to £1.26. Should the move be confirmed, I still think he offers value for anything under £1.50. Just stay frosty though, as the excellent war production generation Kiel used to say, as any movement to Ajax could see another drop in the meantime. Talking of drops and much hyped players moving to a less desirable club, leads us to today's biggest faller. Now a drop of 9p is not too severe when compared to some recent fallers, the likes of Neymar, Pogba and the incredibly unlucky Hans Wolf, but the fall in price of João Felix just shows how careful you have to be with these transfer players, especially when the value of that player had long since left a few months back. Although a great club in real terms, Atletico Madrid under ultra-organised Diego Simeone is where future or present PB players go to die sadly. The tactics he utilised just do not suit the current PB matrix scoring system, and even if that system changes before the start of the season, I can't see João Felix offering up too many dividend prospects at the second most famous Madrid club. You only have to look at Atletico Madrid's major signing of the summer this time last year, Thomas Lemare, remember him, that promising French winger from Monaco, to see how quickly sometimes these moves can go wrong if the player is not suited to a certain style. I hope I'm wrong, I hope he flourishes. I'm sure he will be a relative success real times wise, but I can't see it in terms of football index suitability. A warranted price drop here for me then. We go into this episode's prospect player now, a player who I feel could do well in the near future and attract buys. For this episode we head to the home of BMW, the Bavarian capital of Munich, and the vast array of talent on show at the Allianz Arena. Proven PB giants such as Joshua Kimmich and Thiago Alcantara continue to strut their stuff. But one man who definitely won't be is attacking midfielder James Rodriguez. And in his absence, it leaves a vacant spot at the heart of PB land. Munich continue to be linked with a host of players to fill that central void, including Rodri, Kai Havertz and even winger Leroy Sané. but it's current player Serge Gnabry who I feel could have an exciting season next year. The 23-year-old scored a very respectable 10 goals in 30 appearances last season for club and an outstanding 7 and 8 for country so far in his international career for Germany. If he can keep himself fit, he's very much first choice now, and I expect him to have a very good season ahead of the Euros next summer. This episode's prospect player is Serge Gnabry. Let's have a look at some of your questions now then. This episode's first question comes via email, with Jack Bryan asking, do you think the fact that the whole top 200 is over £1 indicates the need for a new wave of IPOs, initial purchase offerings, as the pool of players people will invest in effectively gets smaller over time? So Jack, the total pool of players currently sits at just over 3,000. It's hard to believe that just a couple of years ago, the overall pool size was around just a tenth of this. Such has been the growth of Football Index as a whole. Many are now therefore wondering when the next batch of IPOs will be released, and there's a host of reasons why this would be a good idea. Two of the best that I've read recently are the following. Firstly, with the current 10% net deposit bonus deadline quickly approaching, 10 more days left at time of recording, there's the theory that an IPO dump on the following day of the deadline would see money continually invested in the platform, whereas without we're likely to see a small dip for a couple of days. There's also the growing problem that a large selection of players from the promoted teams from all 5 PB leagues are not available on the platform currently, joining the likes of high-profile current players not on the index, such as Hoffenheim's Befeldau, who would fly off the shelves should he be IPO'd. For these reasons, I don't think it'll be too long now before we see the next batch of IPOs. I believe the technological software to make the release of IPOs smoother has now been sorted, and it's just a case of waiting now. As to how to make the whole IPO process fairer, well, that's another problem that's yet to be revealed. Question 2 arrives via Twitter, with JQ wanting to know the following. I love the spreadsheet template. I filled out the FI spreadsheet part easily. However, I'm confused with the portfolio section. I've filled out all my deposits okay, but don't understand the data I need to put in to work out the return on investment and variance stuff. So firstly, to any traders that would like to track their trading history, and I certainly recommend you do this in one shape or another, I've uploaded a fairly basic spreadsheet which can be found on the show's website, tradingbearpodcast.com, or follow the link on my Twitter page at tradingbear1. Once downloaded, it's completely free by the way, you'll be able to track your profits and losses, hopefully more of the former rather than the latter, but still just as important. On the first tab titled Football Index, any column titled in red font will need to be manually inputted, such as the player's name or your buy date. Once you sell that player and input what price you sold the player for, any column titled in black font will automatically populate for you, such as the commission paid on that trade, trading profit and loss, and the price needed to sell at to break even or make a 20% profit on, for example. It's the engine room of the whole spreadsheet in essence. The next tab is titled Portfolio and is designed to keep a daily/monthly/yearly track on how your portfolio is going. Again, any column titled in red font needs to be manually inputted, such as the portfolio and cash columns, and then any black columns will automatically populate once again, such as the return on investment and variance, based on a day-to-day. Obviously for the variance column you need to have at least 2 rows of data first before it can calculate the day-to-day variance. Now the next tab, titled Percentage Chart, is purely to act as a graphical representation of your portfolio, so you can easily at a glance see how much percent of your portfolio Pogba currently takes up, for example. Simply just enter the player's name and position, and the 2 pie charts, one for player percentage, the other for position percentage, will again automatically populate. The spreadsheet is by no means the fanciest or in-depth around, but it's what I use on a daily basis to help myself keep track, and if nothing else, it's totally free. Lastly, for those listeners that have used or currently use the official Football Index forum, long-term user and poster Andy M from Sweden has unfortunately been a victim of the platform being removed from his homeland due to a change in the gambling laws over there. So Andy M can no longer access Football Index or the forum currently. He has therefore asked myself to pass on a message of good luck to all the listeners and users of the forum, and he hopes to one day be back. I'm sure you'll be back soon, Andy, and best of luck to yourself as well. And that's it for this episode. You can download and subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify and Podbean. Head over to the website to send in a question, tradingbearpodcast.com. Alternatively, you can find me on Index Gain or Twitter under the name Trading Bear. Thanks for listening and stay tuned for the Mystery Player.
Mystery player. Position.
Midfielder.
Start price.
£1.17.
Current price.
£1.59.
PB.
17p.
MB.
0.
Dividend yield.
10.7%.
Trading bear. Today's mystery player was Marseille playmaker Florian Falvin.